Hey, it's me again, the quasi-random farm. So in today's video of simplistic economic farming tips, I wanted to show this supplementary coop that we are still working on, not done, so hold the judgment. But anyways, I wanted to show you some stuff that we came up with. The original coop that was on this property when we got it, way over there, I don't know if you can see it. It's got a lot of things I just didn't like about it. I felt like the design wasn't exactly as optimal as it could be. There were some things that made it a little more of a struggle. But anyway, so here's what we came up with. I decided to go with a short but two-story setup. And the logic on that was pretty straightforward. By raising a second story, you're keeping the same footprint, but you're actually doubling the square footage of space, more or less. And so just like these little chickens running in there now, they're all excited. They can easily go up this simplistic walkway that's literally a 2x6 that's been cut in half and staggered in such a way. All they got to do is walk up, zigzag, go up, boom, they're on the second story. They're not interfering with each other, so if one of them gets gets peeved, they can just go up to the second story. Or if you're already up there, well, guess what? You can go down. Like, woo! So it would eliminate a lot of fighting. And I was thinking also, supplementary to that, let's go back to the backside. Sorry, I got the sniffles and it's cold. So for cleaning, I wanted it to be as quick and easy as possible. So here's the idea for the finished product. I learned about something called corrugated plastic. So the same concept as corrugated cardboard that your package from the post office would come. Same thing, but plastic. So super lightweight, but durable, sturdy enough, and it would prevent any kind of rain seeping in. It's going to give you a block so that it's not full wind shear blowing through all crazy. So what we thought would literally be to take a sheet of corrugated plastic, have that going down vertically all the way the duration of the coop. That's covering not only the second, but the first floor as well, okay? So we would have a hinge up here. Sorry that my placement's off. I'm struggling. I'm doing the best I can trying to coordinate the camera and where I'm actually motioning. I'm getting used to it. Bear with me. But anyway, we were thinking having a hinge system at the top, so it's still going to maintain its lightweight structure, right? Still going to be really, really easy, really simple. All we would do, flip it up. Got to put the camera where my hand is. Flip the corrugated plastic sheet up. Prop it up with a PVC pipe, which again, we're talking like scrap, simple, basic supplies. Once that's propped up, it would be as easy as grabbing a rake, raking out the bedding, padding, manure, whatever you got, raking it out of the bottom, slapping it in a wheelbarrow, moving over to the compost pile, throwing some new bedding in, shutting it at the end of the day. Easy peasy and cheap. So with the economical system of this coop, the whole thing's going to end up being about $200. Now, granted, that's not completely face value expense, because some of this, in part, we had to utilize, or didn't have to, but we did end up utilizing things that we already had. So that's definitely a point. Worked out great, though. Worked out absolutely great. Some scrap tin for the roof. Basic wood building materials for the body. And I wanted it as open as possible for optimal ventilation, but I also don't want the chickens to be too cold. So that's where the corrugated plastic's coming in. But check this out. So another thing that we gave consideration to with this construction, this would be, okay, now you guys have like 7 acres. You can run and peck and irritate all of creation, and every single one of you wants to be right here. It's insane. So on the front side, greenhouse plastic in the winter. So now this isn't here yet, But either way, we're talking about scrap greenhouse plastic that we had supplementary for the construction of a greenhouse. So it would be as simple as putting a roll up at the top, stretching all the way the length, and during the winter part, roll it down, staple at the sides and bottom. So once that's complete, you figure you're blocking all that extra wind shear, you're blocking the cold air, you're not having to give any kind of worry or consideration to that. They're going to stay warm. It's going to help insulate, keep the heat in there. They're not going to be at risk of frostbite and all that stuff that's terrible and tragic. Chickens are protected, easy, and economical. So even to the point of, walk back around, it'll be easier. Doo-doo-doo. Even to the point of the nesting boxes. It's just scrap supplies built onto the one side. And we were thinking with this, there's the 4 nesting boxes. So with this system, having the nesting boxes on the second floor, because it was a kind of back and forth, are they going to be on the first or they're going to be on the second? We thought having it set up this way, the chickens aren't at risk of getting poo and mess on the eggs because it's its own separate compartment. But having it on the second floor, the chickens in general would be up here at night because this is their actual roost bar, so it doubles as support and roost. Having it to where it was as communal as possible, but also quasi-private. When the chickens did become broody, because I selected breeds that I wanted to be able to mother their own offspring to the fullest extent possible, still got the hang on, I'm coming, Angel. Bear's getting really upset. So anyway, I selected chicken breeds that I wanted to incubate, to brood their own offspring to the fullest extent possible. But I also got the incubator in case I wanted to hatch some. But I thought with this system, if they did hatch the eggs, the little chickens can still kind of go in and out of the nesting box if they needed to, or felt more secure or comfortable, or if one of the larger ones, or say the rooster got a little bullyish, which I don't think would happen, but let's just say it did, they would have an outlet that they could get away from the rooster and he wouldn't be able to get to them. Also, they, with the adult chickens, could go down the little zigzag walkway that we made to go down to the first floor, and then, providing that mother's ready to let it happen, let them go out and they can forage and dig and play and explore and everything with all the normal chickens. So they would have a better sense of like flock community, and they can also go up and down at their discretion. We thought it was a pretty good system. And as always, if anybody else has any any suggestions, solutions, ideas, they like this, they don't like it, what they would have done differently. If you've got a better idea, learn from any mistakes that you're seeing with my work, or anything that you think could be better, absolutely. Hopefully somebody will see this video and they'll see tips and things that they can use to better their own homestead. That would be great. Yay. Who's your chicken? One other really quick thing I'm going to add to the end of this video. So we were thinking about an easy way to keep treats out in this section where it wouldn't be like obnoxious and running back and forth and having all kind of crazy buckets everywhere and it just becoming an absolute mess. So these seemingly random energy gummies, or any random thing, it doesn't need to be an energy gummy, we thought about just simply screwing the cap up like so into one of the boards, and then you literally just twist to secure, just like you would be putting the cap on the actual bottle. And with that, you can have, we still got a couple of like seeds and stuff where we were putting some stuff and playing around. But with that, we thought you would have fairly weather secure storage for your treats, or other food, or whatever other things, any kind of like poultry medicine or anything that you might need. And so it's kind of secure. It's kind of contained away from the weather, easily accessible, out of the way. Nobody's going to step on it. It's not going to get lost. We thought that was a pretty good setup. It's not perfect, and I need to cut this little extra screw, but pretty decent setup. And again, we're just using scrap supplies and things. We're repurposing used or existing material to get further use from it, which is economical and going to help you stretch that wallet on your own homestead as far as you possibly can for your betterment. Thanks.